on, I want you to arrest me, you asshole!
There's no call for that kind of language.
You just called the cop an asshole, and the cop's like, hey, yo, Pip, cheerio, don't call me an asshole.
He's an American. He's trying to commit suicide by cop, so he called him an asshole, expecting a full clip to the chest.
Happy 3rd of July, guys.
The slaughtered lamb?
Why is the logo so visceral?
No, really. What kind of ad is that for a pub?
Ah, he's got my criticism.
That one dude wearing the red jacket has 80% of all the color.
Hi, yes, one severed wolf head, please?
Coming right up.
Again, this is a situation like Children of Men where, yeah, the game probably makes sense, but they didn't capture anything, so they probably just moved the pieces toward each other and called it a day.
God, they are the same. One of their faces is set to wide, one of their faces is set to 4x3.
Beware the moon, lads.
So if you're giving them the warning about the werewolf, why did you let them leave?
Well, they know the werewolf's got to probably feed, and they don't want to feed on the fucking...
Feed it the dumb Americans.
Yeah, exactly, the tourists.
That's fair.
They should have been like, go towards the moonlight, it'll keep you safe.
Hey, wait a minute. We're lost.
Maybe we should have stuck to the road.
Like literally everybody said.
Or not walked at night. Well-lit night, by the way.
Yeah,
With
perfectly.
set lights in the background. That's not a full moonlight.
Hey, wait, I think we walked past this soundstage before.
Let's just keep walking.
That's a terrible plan. All right, David.
What would be your solution?
Sit still, lie down, accept it.
They just killed the werewolf.
In 2 shots.
In 2 shots. I don't know if it was silver bullets or not, but the town seemed pretty afraid of this werewolf.
Where am I?
You're in a hospital in London.
London is nowhere near where they were. There's so many other places in between there and London that they could have taken this kid. Do you think Jack's going to come back as like a zombie werewolf and they're going to werewolf fight?
No, this isn't a Marvel movie.
But then let's fast forward to 2010's The Wolfman. We had a werewolf fight.
Yeah, that slapped.
That was directed by the director of Captain America the next year.
You're right.
Some water?
Couldn't give him more than a fucking dribble of water.
What the fuck? What the hell is going on?
This movie sucks.
Yeah, this is not a good film.
I disagree. I'm having a great time.
Why do you have an upside down cup with nothing in it? Is the cup for coffee? Where's the fucking coffee?
It's a hospital. They don't have to feed you.
They give misleading cups.
Why is he all blue now?
To show his transition.
Now he's a werewolf because he's blue instead of red.
Yeah.
Why would you fuck after the shower? You just need to clean yourself again.
No, it's kind of hot.
I agree with Jake.
Yeah, it's hot, but like...
Sex is not that dirty.
You get all sweaty and cummy.
And then you shower again, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. You have to shower twice.
You get to have sex
You
in
have
between.
to perpetually shower every day of your life, Ian.
Bela Lugosi bites Lon Chaney Jr. and he turns into...
That's the Wolfman!
Do you remember that part in Monster Squad where they're debating whether or not the Wolfman can drive a car?
He's not smart enough to drive a car is the problem
Not
there.
in London. David, can you drive a car? Not in London.
Drink for a very cold man.
Good afternoon, what can I get you?
Severed wolf's head if you got it.
Jake, I don't think they have severed wolf's head.
Damn.
What? False advertising. That was the sign.
Longhorn doesn't serve longhorns.
He was talking about werewolves.
It's been about 3 weeks and none of us have moved a single fucking piece since that guy walked in the bar.
That's not the sound cats make.
Have you ever seen cats near a werewolf mud? Checkmate. Maybe they have a special sound in their voice box just for werewolves.
Have you ever seen cats near a witcher mud?
You ever seen Cat's Mud? I know you have. It was in theaters.
Oh, dude, rip your skin off like in Van Helsing.
Yeah, it slapped.
He had to get out of his clothes before the transformation so the makeup could work.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Holy
Whoa.
shit.
Okay, okay.
Man, what a thin fucking werewolf.
A naked American man stole my balloon.
In
Of
London.
London. Oh, fuck.
Good morning.
Hey, David, where'd you get that woman's coat?
From the woman I ate, I mean, nothing.
I'll expect you shortly.
9.
Hello, you've reached 9.
Hello, you've reached all of Germany.
I thought he was going to call 911, but it's like 411 in England or something.
It's 999.
999? Oh, so he could have been calling 9. We don't know.
No, based on the cut, he just called 9.
He's just like Marty McFly, but inverse.
I see it. I see what you mean. He's kind of like the Fly, where the power's making him horny.
To be fair, both flies and wolves are very horny. Mostly flies, though. Because they have a day to live or some shit.
That's a mayfly.
No, regular flies only live like maybe a couple days.
Yeah, but I'm talking about one that lives exactly like 24 hours.
What was Brundlefly?
He was Brundlefly.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Well, according to the computer, the second part was not Brundle.
Oh, that makes so much sense now.
Fucking useless ass computer.
Come on, David. Let's...
Come on, I want you to arrest me, you asshole!
There's no call for that kind of language.
You just called the cop an asshole, and the cop's like, "Hey, yo, Pip, cheerio! Don't call me an asshole."
He's an American. He's trying to commit suicide by cop, so he called him an asshole, expecting a full clip to the chest. What?
He's
just
reading the eye chart. I got you.
It's good. It's good.
Fun fact from here: A, without my glasses on. By the way,
Couldn't he just jump off a bridge? Problem solved.
he could jump off the London Bridge.
Wait, I have an idea. Why doesn't he just leave London? Then he's not an American werewolf in London.
He'd still be an American Werewolf in anywhere else.
No, he's only an American Werewolf in London. If he goes to Paris,
It's like a regional disease. He leaves, he's fine.
it's like allergies. What I'm really trying to say is, if I was a werewolf, yes, like that's the play.
I would love to be a werewolf.
Same.
Like, everyone's like, oh, the curse, dude. It's 3 nights a month.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
It's been that exact same shot every time. Comes in from off screen, bites them in the torso, and then it cuts.
Yeah.
Like hard cuts.
It shows some sequences of him just tearing apart the corpse, though.
The only thing is the beginning.
Super zoomed in, and he's just like thrashing around at the camera. Like, there's no wide angle to it.
Yeah, it's a lot of after. Now, granted, it would get a harsher rating if they show more stuff, so I completely understand. But at the same time,
I mean, they've dropped so many F-bombs. It's
yeah,
already
it's
rated
already
R.
rated R. You're right. Fuck it. Show it. People in England like, I don't know how to drive.
Yeah, wait, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
That guy got sandwiched.
Oh my god.
That seems really funny, but really fucking stupid.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
All right.
What a dumb song at the end.
It is. Chess player credited.
Sean Baker.
All right, guys, out of 10, I go last.
I can say there are some good parts,
There's some good stuff
but
in
the
it.
acting's kind of bad.
The plot is very boring. There's no conflict.
Yeah, he kind of just shows up, does werewolf stuff, and then dies. At
He
the end.
doesn't become a werewolf till like about halfway, if not over halfway through
And
the
that's
film.
fine. I don't mind that. But like, I wish there was more trying to discover instead of him just fucking around.
Yeah, and like there's this whole subplot about him killing himself that doesn't go anywhere. Because
Yep.
he ends up just getting shot by the cops.
He suicide by cop, you know.
And then the movie just
Literally
just ends.
Yeah.
Like he gets shot, she stares at his body, roll credits.
Yeah, I think it's a little too fast paced. The comedy, you know, the fact that this is a comedy makes it worse, in my opinion.
I would not call this
comedy.
film a comedy.
Horror. It's a horror comedy. That's how it's classified.
I know
as.
that. I'm not saying like there were jokes where I'm like, wow, that's not funny. I just never registered like I'm supposed to be laughing at the screen.
I'm not a horror comedy guy, so the fact that this is a horror comedy automatically detracts, because horror is horror, comedy is comedy. They're opposites. Stop it. You know what I mean? Like, you can do it effectively, but it's supposed to be scary when you do it with comedic elements, not funny with scary elements.
See, I feel like because it's supposed to be a horror comedy, they pulled their punches in both aspects, and the film doesn't feel like it's any genre.
It definitely misses the mark.
It
On a
swings
couple
and
things.
misses on a lot of stuff. in
Because
this
you can
film.
have a scary movie and have funny elements, because in light of tragedy,
Zombieland.
sometimes, yeah. there you go.
Zombieland
It's not
has
scary.
scary.
No, it's not.
There's some
That's
scary
a-
scenes in Zombieland.
That's a comedy horror. That's completely different. That's
My point is,
a
it's
comedy.
a good. It's a blending
Yes.
of the genres because there's some pretty grotesque imagery in that
Yeah.
film. The
And
zombies.
there's grotesque imagery in this film. I say not enough. I think there are way too many cuts away from the stuff that's happening that's actually cool.
The werewolf fights aren't that good. A lot of it's like
Cuts
super
away
zoomed
it
in.
cuts away too much.
Yeah, hard cut. Like the editing in this film's not that good, and like the backstory for whatever the hell happened just isn't there.
Yeah, it's a little too. It's rushed. It feels rushed, and that sucks, because there's some really cool elements that could have played out better.
Yeah,
I think the main thing for me is like the acting's fucking terrible. Like, Jack is awful. David's bland. The doctor guy's all right. Alex is all right.
see, I think the script's kind of just a little.
Yeah, that's
A
fair.
lot of scenes just meander.
I think it's just a little too unfocused. It tries to be too many. It tries to be the two things that it wants to be.
This movie could have been longer.
Oh
to
yeah,
give it some breathing room and give it like an actual
Breathing
conflict at
room.
the very end.
funny scenes, like actual discovery. I
Yeah.
feel like it needs more discovery of like what it means for him It's just too much him talking to a dead body about nothing. It feels like Tom Cruise is the Mummy in that aspect, which is really bad.
At least the effects are great.
Yeah, the effects are great. Cool.
Yeah,
Jack sucks.
I'm gonna give this movie like I'm thinking a 3.
I'm thinking 4, just above, just below.
This
It's
is not that
almost
good.
mid, but I feel like the acting and the script being too rushed bring it a little bit too down for me.
Yeah.
Because there are parts that I do like. This movie's almost like completely watchable, perfectly fine. It's just it cuts away from all the stuff I really like, and the plot is just very bare bones.
We time checked at one point, and there was 20 minutes left of an hour and 10-minute film, and that's the beginning of Act 3. I thought we were maybe halfway through Act 2.
Yeah, it just too fast paced. And
Too
I'm not
fast,
gonna complain.
not furious.
I don't want to complain about it being too fast paced because if it's like obviously not positive. Oh, faster is better, but like I want the movie to be better because there are some parts I really like.
I think it could have had more time, more breathing room to give us something a little more detrimental to this guy. Because, like, he's talking to these dead bodies, and they're like, you should kill himself. And he's like, okay. And then he just transforms.
Yeah.
And then he dies.
It's just, it feels like stuff just happens for reasons.
Yeah.
And the reasons aren't really there. Too much of him at the hospital just kind of fucking around.
Yes.
Too much of him in the apartment kind of just fucking around. The movie fucks around a little too much.
This movie's pretty surface level, I think.
When I like a movie, there's potential, it's not good.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the sad thing.
Having potential is not the same thing as being good.
Yep. So I think a 4 is definitely in order here.
I'm going to go with a 3.
You guys, you all set?
Yeah.
All right. I fucking love this movie. I thought the balance of the horror and comedy tones was actually really well executed. And you were saying horror is horror, comedy is comedy. Get Out is a fantastic example of blending and transcending both genres. And I fucking love almost everything that this movie does in terms of like the script. Dude, the fucking every time a specter visited him and like egged him on to kill himself, and that culminated in the last sequence where like you got fucking 20 people all talking about how he's gonna kill himself, how much he should kill himself, what level to which killing himself should, like, dude, that's fucking hilarious. I love like almost every single bit of comedy in this movie really worked for me. I thought the blending of the tones was so interestingly executed, and mostly, like I'd say 90% of the time, really worked for me. I fucking loved almost everything this movie did, and let me just say, the makeup, the werewolf transformations,
100%, those are phenomenal.
Every aspect that was actually practical, that was involved with the werewolf, which is every single werewolf scene, is so brilliantly done, and it looks so fucking good. And Jack's de-evolution into more and more decrepit looked better and better and better, even though that fucking first time he looked right was fucking awesome.
I think the end one was a little too puppet-like for me, but it didn't look bad.
I disagree. I think it was fantastic. He looked like a fucking corpse.
I think even though there's going to be a definitely a stark divide between me and Ian and your scores, I think we all unilaterally agree the effects in this movie are clean.
Just absolutely beautiful.
Beautiful. That's what's giving this film a 3 for me.
Yeah, I would absolutely watch this again like multiple times.
Negative.
I super fucking loved it.
I'd watch those scenes again.
Yeah, no, I'd watch all the fucking scenes. You guys say it meandered. I think it added to his character. I think him going fucking nuts over whether he is or isn't a werewolf or what he's doing or isn't doing to people, I think that's driving him mad. I think that's so fucking cool to watch. I love these scenes. The only thing I'd say in terms of criticism is that the nurse character isn't very developed. I could use a little more better than that. I'm still, at the end of the day, gonna give this movie an 8 out of 10. This is an awesome fucking movie.
If you combine Ian and I's scores, it's still lower.
Yep. See, the thing that gets me with this movie personally is just like that scene you're talking about. That's the only good comedy scene in the movie.
I disagree. It was fucking hilarious, dude.
Comedy is subjective.
Yeah, I know we can't. Really
and also, Get Out, pure horror with slight comedy elements.
Not slight. Very
Get
comedic
Out.
sequences.
There's one really long sequence in Get Out that's supposed to be funny. And that's him at the party with all the white people.
Yeah,
which is
some of the things were comedic. Like
yes, but that doesn't mean it's a comedy.
Yeah.
Having comedic elements doesn't mean
it was
comedy.
not. To be fair, it was nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Comedy, but that was a controversy.
That
was a controversy.
They nominated Martian for Best Comedy or Musical. That was they're
it is
terrible.
not a musical.
No,
very controversial.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, nobody's saying.
No, I would say, but this specifically is horror/comedy. Get Out is just a horror. Like if you classify that movie, that is just a horror.
It's not just a horror because that implies that it's not a comedy. And there's plenty of great comedic sequences in Get Out.
See, I'd say comedic scenes don't make something a comedy. It's just elements and themes.
What does make something a comedy?
Like all comedy. You know what I mean? Like
comedic scenes?
Just
I
comedy.
I don't know how to decide.
I think this is getting a little too big for the discussion we're having.
Fair
at
enough.
present. I don't think.
I'll just settle my thoughts on it and just say I really liked it. High positive review. I guess the moral of the story here is that a lot of the reasons we disagree, we can't defend our points because it was me finding it funny and you guys not.
And you being more invested in the
A lot more
plot
invested,
than we
yeah,
are.
Fair.
Yeah.
But we could talk about we've already talked about the plot, like investment and stuff like that. But like as far as comedy goes, it's just I found it funny, you didn't. That's the whole discussion. But I just liked what we got. So
I don't like what we got.
well, speaking of what we got, Ian, what do we got next with our 50th Bonanza episode?
What's your guess?
Okay, I think it's Wild Wild West.
Oh, that would have been great. I didn't even think of Wild Wild West. I really wish it was Wild Wild West now.
Just make it Wild Wild West.
I could. So I was thinking 50 episodes.
Yep.
51st States is not the pick. That's stupid. Fuck off.
50 Cent the rapper.
That's funny. It's really, really funny that Jake mentioned 50 Cent the rapper.
Oh god.
Oh
Because
no.
for my 50th episode, I was like, what movies are 50 Cent in? So it's Den of Thieves for one.
Oh.
Good movie. I was really thinking of Happy Death Day because they play In the Club by 50 Cent like 100 fucking times in that movie every time she wakes up.
I love how divorced that would have been from being the 50th. There's like a paragraph explanation for why you picked Happy Death
A
Day.
whole paragraph. So I picked a 50 Cent movie for the 50th anniversary.
Ice Cube Jr. is in it. I remember watching and liking that movie when it came out.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, you guys both really liked
It's
it.
a decent heist movie. So maybe we'll find new things. Alternatively, we'll just shit on it and make 50 Cent jokes the whole time.